Hi guys, Catherine here, also known as Kit Kat Wombat. Today I wanted to talk about something a little different than what I have been talking about in my last few videos, but it's something that I'm really passionate about and I can't wait to share with others. And so today I wanted to start maybe a new series about Disney conservation and all of the different kinds of conservation initiatives that the Disney company has been involved with. But in today's video, I'm going to talk specifically about Protect the Pride, which is Disney Conservation's newest initiative, and it is related to the live-action release of The Lion King. In Disney's words, it is a global conservation campaign to raise awareness and support the dwindling lion populations across Africa. The best way I can say to describe what is Protect the Pride is a funding campaign partially funding the Lion Recovery Fund. And what is the Lion Recovery Fund? It is an effort to return the lion population size to its 1994 state, and that would be doubling the population size. The Wildlife Conservation Network funded the Lion Recovery Fund recently. It was co-established by the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation. And so how exactly is Disney involved in this? Disney, through the Protect the Pride initiative, is contributing money to this project, and they're doing this with three different things. And so the first thing that they are doing is a direct donation directly to the Lion Recovery Fund, and that is a $25,000 donation from the Disney Conservation Fund in conjunction with Disney Publishing Worldwide in honor of a book release for the book The Art and Making of the Lion King. The second thing that they're doing, $2 will be donated for every person that rides Kilimanjaro safaris at Disney's Animal Kingdom between July 19th and July 25th, 2019. And that will be up to $350,000. And the third thing that they're doing is that Disney has made 2 limited special edition plushes of Simba and Nala. For every one of these 40,000 plushes that are purchased, $5 will be donated. And so if all of those get sold, that'll be an additional $200,000 to the Lion Recovery Fund. And in addition to these financial donations, Disney is also providing a huge platform for recognition. And so everybody that sees these plushes in Disney stores or on Shop Disney will be aware that this funding is happening, and they might wonder why exactly lions need to be recovered, and they may go look into what's going on with the lion populations. And my hope is that Disney will put a little tag at the end of the live action Lion King that says, "Hey, lions are in danger, you can help." Hopefully some of the people that go to see the Lion King may actually be interested in real life lions instead of CGI lions. Now that I've talked about where the money is coming from and that it is going to the Lion Recovery Fund, I do want to talk about what exactly the Lion Recovery Fund is doing and what their goals are, because I think it's important not only to donate and contribute to these kinds of conservation efforts, but it's also really important to know what this money is doing. I do want to go into a little bit of detail of first, why do we need to protect lions? Lions are half the size, 1/2 the population size that they were 25 years ago when the first Lion King was released. That's really fast for a population to get cut in half. And so why should we care about the lion population? Well, first of all, we know they're really charismatic, they're pretty cute, they're really cool. That phenomenon of people thinking that an animal is cool and wanting to save it for this cool factor, that makes us call an animal a flagship species because it's kind of like the poster child. In addition to them being really, really cool, They are also considered by scientists an indicator species. We call something an indicator species when its decline indicates the decline of the ecosystem around it. So not only does declining lion populations say that the lions are dying, it also indicates that the habitat around them, the ecosystem around them is declining, and that the other species, the prey that they depend on, are also in decline. And then in addition to being an indicator species, we also consider lions an umbrella species. This is because in order to save the lions, we also have to recover the habitat that they live in, as well as the other organisms that live with them. And so in that case, when we save lions, they're kind of casting an umbrella over the rest of the ecosystem. And not only is it important to save the lions for the sake of the lions and the plants and habitat and other organisms that live there, but it's also important for the sake of the humans that live there. And you may think that all hope is lost, and like if their entire population was reduced by half in 25 years, how could we possibly save them? The good news is that scientists do believe that lions have a good, decent chance at actually being recovered. And this is for a couple of reasons. One reason is that they have a fairly quick reproductive rate, especially for such a large mammal. We have had a lot of recent advancements, as well as improving public and political interactions are allowing for more efforts to go towards conservation. So in order to conserve a species, we have to understand why are they in danger in the first place. And so for lions, this comes down to three things: habitat destruction, human-lion conflict, and then targeted poaching. So habitat destruction comes directly from humans destroying the land that lions previously lived in, either for their own use to live on or for their livestock to live on. And then also, humans in the area are catching bushmeat in order to survive, and that is taking food away from the lions. And then for human and lion conflict, most of this is when lions get trapped in snares meant for bushmeat, and then once they're trapped in there, a lot of times they won't make it out, which is sad because that's not even what the traps are for. If people think that they are in danger, or if their livestock or their pets are in danger, they may act in self-defense and kill a lion. And then targeted poaching, so that's different from human-lion conflict because it's done intentionally. That is when people are killing a lion for the sake of killing a lion, and this is particularly bad with poorly managed or completely mismanaged trophy hunting. So those are the major threats facing lions. How is the Lion Recovery Fund going to mitigate these issues? So the Lion Recovery Fund's main goal is to double the lion population by 2050. And they want to do this by reversing the decline in lion populations and reaching positive population growth or stable population sizes near carrying capacity for all lion populations throughout Africa. And their strategy for doing this is three-pronged. The first and most important prong is to expand the conservation footprint, and that is the boots on the ground actually doing habitat repair and conservation work. This second goal is to build public, political, and philanthropic will to save lions. And then the third and final prong is to scale the funding. This is realizing that the current amount of funding for lion conservation is inadequate. So now I'm going to go into a little bit more depth for each of these three prongs. This is by no means everything there is to know about this program. If you would like to learn more specifically about how they are going about tackling these three prongs, I will link the PDF where I learned all of this information down below. It is available directly through the Lion Recovery Network website. So for the first prong, conservation, there are 5 major things that they are trying to do. The first is to support the management of protected areas. There is already protection in some areas, and so the Lion Recovery Fund would like to provide support for those protected areas. Second is to promote conservation-minded land uses elsewhere. So in areas that are not protected, they would like to encourage people to use the land in sustainable ways. And to follow that, their third goal is to lower the costs on locals. So they want to encourage people to be sustainable and also enable them to do that by taking the financial burden off of them. And then by doing that, they hope to incentivize coexistence between humans and lions. And so they would like to provide ways to do that, such as special livestock protection fences, human protection efforts, etc. Their final goal under conservation is to support law enforcement. And this is a goal so that there is better management of trophy hunting as well as enforcement of poaching and trophy hunting laws. The second prong, as you may remember, is will. And so they want to build public, political, and philanthropic awareness of the crisis. And so they want to build public awareness both locally and abroad. And they want to build political support via investments in protected areas and to encourage international political support of local governments. And then they want to build a philanthropic will and gain financial support from organizations of all kinds. And so the goal for scaling funding is to narrow the gap between what is needed and what is available financially to protect and recover lions. So right now, 2/3 of the protected areas are running at a deficit. And so clearly that is not sustainable. And so more funding needs to be available. The goal of the Lion Recovery Fund is to leverage funding from philanthropists with common interests in Africa. And so this is where Disney comes in. Clearly Disney has interest in Africa with having the entire Africa section in Animal Kingdom. And one quote that comes directly from the Lion Recovery Network, their official documents, which really shows why Disney is involved, is this one quote here. Support interventions that are effective and cost efficient and which are likely to leverage additional resources for lion conservation. So I think we can all agree that at least Disney is effective and cost efficient and is likely to leverage additional resources for lion conservation. And so that really shows why the Lion Recovery Fund would be interested in Disney and why Disney would be interested in supporting this kind of conservation effort. If you would like to learn more about the Lion Recovery Fund, I do encourage you to read the PDF available on the Wildlife Conservation Network's website. And there you can learn more about what exactly the funds are for and what they're aiming to do and how exactly that organization runs. I personally think that it's a really great organization. They seem to be very transparent with what their goals are, and everything is really well thought out. They seem to have looked at every single perspective, not just from a conservationist perspective, but also from a humanitarian perspective. Their goals are to do really good things. So if you would like to help out, I encourage you to either, if you are in the Disney parks or in Animal Kingdom between the 19th and 25th, riding Kilimanjaro Safari is probably the easiest way to contribute. It'll be $2 directly to that fund. And plus you get to ride a really cool safari ride and see a bunch of cool stuff. So you can donate directly to the Lion Recovery Network or directly to the Wildlife Conservation Network, or even donate to the Disney Conservation Fund, which goes to more than just the Lion Recovery Fund, and I hope to touch on some of those other programs that they are doing in the near future. And then you could, of course, buy those super cute little Nala and Simba plushes, or just one. I don't need any more plushes in my life, otherwise I would have gotten one. So, of course, it's awesome if you can support these kinds of things financially, but I know that a lot of people don't have the ability to do that. And so education is also really important. So educating others about specifically the Land Recovery Fund or just conservation and environmental issues in general are really good ways to help out. And then in addition to educating others is to educate yourself more. So learn more about conservation, learn more about the environment, what you can do to help, just having a better understanding of the world around you, being more aware. Those are all really great ways to better the world around us. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed talking about all of this stuff, and I hope to talk to you down in the comments if you have any questions about anything that I said, or about general conservation or ecology questions. I can try to address them in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and thanks for watching. Bye.